Hi, I'm Ronnie Ann. I'm a New York City trained makeup artist, and today I'm going to be reviewing the viral Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. This foundation has a lot of claims behind it, and it's meant to be a medium buildable coverage with a matte finish. And I'm someone with a slightly drier skin type who tends to prefer more luminous, radiant complexion products. I really love tinted moisturizers and BB creams in my day-to-day makeup routine. However, I saw somebody else review this and I was really intrigued. So I'm going to show you how I like to apply it and also share one of my favorite tips for how you can darken a foundation that might be too light for you. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by reviewing some of the claims that Urban Decay makes about this foundation, things that are listed on the actual packaging and on their website. This is what the box looks like. It's this really cute, small, compact box. And on the box, it says that it's waterproof, up to 24-hour wear, that it has 3% niacinamide, and can't feel coverage. So this is meant to be a light to medium buildable coverage and something that is sweat proof, humidity proof, and waterproof. They also have a couple of claims on their website about the skincare benefits of it. I'm assuming that's mostly linked to the niacinamide, just supposed to help smooth the texture of the skin. They claim that if you wear this foundation for 4 weeks straight, that your skin will look and feel smoother, that it will improve the appearance of your skin. Also non-comedogenic. That's also indicated on the box. So the bottle itself is very slim and compact. It's a plastic bottle, really, really lightweight, and the cap just pops right off. Another feature of this foundation is the precision dropper, which actually has a patent pending. This little dropper, and I don't know if you can see the little tube inside of there. There's like a little tube that goes down the middle. Basically controls how much product is released when you tip the bottle over so that you don't have to worry about wasting product or having excess amounts spill out of the bottle, which I think is a really nice feature. And also due to the shape of this bottle, I think it would be easier to not waste product and for it all to just kind of glide down in here when you're trying to get the last few drops out of it. I can't say that for certain because I haven't gone through this whole bottle yet, but I'm led to believe that because of the shape of this, that most of the product will get used and won't get wasted or stuck in the bottle. So now I'm going to go into demonstrating how to use this and to testing a couple of the transfer resistant and waterproof claims. In all honesty, I bought this foundation 2 months ago and it's a little too light for me. My boyfriend actually told me that it made me look very chalky and ghostly. He was asking for his feedback on the foundation and he just kept commenting on the color. And I was like, that's not the feedback I'm looking for. I want to know more about the texture. Does the texture make me look older? Does my skin look more youthful? What do you think of the texture? All he could see was the fact that it was too pale for me. So I'm mixing this now with another product to make it a little bit darker and closer to what my skin tone is now. I don't know if you can see, but my body is a little bit darker than my face. It's a little bit more golden. I wear SPF on my face every day, which is very common. And so my face isn't as dark. And I want my foundation to bronze me up because it's summertime, my body's bronzed, which is why I'm going to show you how you can darken a foundation that might be too light. However, I want to be really fair, so I'm going to test this blended and made it a little bit darker by mixing it with another product on my face. Then I'm also going to put the foundation by itself on the back of my hand so that we can test the water resistant and transfer resistant claims when it's mixed with something else on my face and also on the back of my hand, so we can give it an honest review. The product that I'm going to mix this with on my face is a Nudies stick in the shade of Bonde Belle. So this is a contour stick or a bronzer stick, however you want to use it, depending on what color you get. So I have just been putting this on the back of my hand like this. And then I take a little bit of this foundation. I probably will actually add a little more. Just from past experience, I know to get the color that I want, I probably need a little bit more of that foundation. And you basically can customize the ratio of dark to light makeup to get the color that you want. So then I'm gonna pull this through the center of my face and just blend it out. And I'm aware this, when it's really thick on my face and I haven't blended it, it definitely looks like it's too dark, maybe too golden or olivey, but I know I'm gonna blend it out and sheer it out and that it's, for the most part, gonna match my chest. I'm just using my fingers to apply this because I'm looking for sheer coverage, and honestly, I feel like brushes and beauty blenders oftentimes absorb some product, and this texture of foundation, I really like the way that it applies when I'm just using my fingers. So I start through the middle of my face because that's usually where I need a little more coverage, color correction, and I'm just gonna mix some more of that up. There are other ways to do this. I could just layer this contour stick, go around my hairline, under my cheekbone, down here, and then blend the foundation in over the top of it that way. Basically, there's multiple ways that you can make your foundation that's too light look a little bit darker. This is just one way. I just want like an even wash of color. I don't really want the appearance of contouring. So this definitely has more of a matte finish than I'm used to wearing. I generally am a very, very luminous, radiant complexion product person. I love glowy skin on myself and others. I think it's really, really youthful and it just makes my skin feel nice and hydrated. I do have a drier skin type, and anything that is matte usually accentuates it and just doesn't feel comfortable to wear. In all honesty, I've been a little surprised at how comfortable to wear this foundation is because I never wear matte makeup. So I'm just pressing this in, especially around the eyes, being very gentle, not to tug on that delicate skin that is prone to wrinkling. And the motion that I'm doing is kind of like using a beauty blender. It basically helps blend your foundation in the same way that a beauty blender does. Kind of gives that really blurred, diffused effect. So I'm going to show this to you up close. I don't know if you can tell, but it has a very natural powdery finish. There's not a lot of shine on my skin. In person, it literally looks like I have a sheer layer of powder on my face. I do find with this foundation, if I have any dry surface texture, if I haven't exfoliated, my skin's not hydrated, that this will cling to that texture and accentuate it. So I really have to be mindful of getting this on to freshly exfoliated, smooth, hydrated skin. This probably is not the best option for somebody who has normal to dry, flaky skin, where any of that dryness is actually visible on the skin surface. However, if you have kind of just a drier skin type and you're able to get rid of any surface texture, I think that this could work, and it actually does feel pretty hydrating for a matte foundation. Before I do the rest of my makeup, I'm going to test the transfer resistant claim as well as the waterproof claim. I want to do that before I put any other makeup on so that I can see if any makeup transfers, it's the foundation and not the other makeup that I'm wearing. Before I do that, however, I'm going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand without any of that contour product in it so that we can test the integrity of the product without it being potentially compromised by the product I mixed it with to make it darker. And also, let's just see if we can build up that coverage. You can still see my veins through it. It's pretty sheer. Let's try to build that up. The stippling motion will help build the product up more than just rubbing it about. So it's definitely buildable. My veins are a little less visible after doing a second layer. So this is dried for at least a minute on my hand, and it's been dried on my face for about 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm gonna take a plain paper towel and I'm just going to press it against my cheek. I don't really see anything that's transferred. Let's see if I give it a little wipe. Seems pretty transfer resistant. I'm gonna do the same thing to the back of my hand. So this just has foundation. It doesn't have the contour stick mixed in with it. Looks pretty transfer resistant. It looks like maybe there was a tinge of transfer on my hand, but it's probably because it didn't have a chance to set as long as it has on my face. But generally speaking, this seems, I'm using a paper towel. Okay, so if you rub, it transfers a little bit. Long story short, if you have a white t-shirt and you drag it across your face when you're taking it off, I don't care what makeup you're wearing, chances are it's going to transfer a little bit. But I think if you would just pat a little bit with a white t-shirt or a paper towel, this isn't going to transfer. Which I can't say is the case for a lot of the really creamy, luminous complexion products that I wear. A lot of my CC creams and tinted moisturizers, they're so balmy that even if I just pressed something against my face, it would transfer. So I think that there are some truth to the claims about this being a longer wearing product. And the next thing that I want to test out is the water resistant claim. So I'm taking a spritzer and I'm going to spritz myself in the face and in the hand, and we're going to see what happens to this. With my hand being doused with water, it does look like it's breaking it apart a little bit, but we're gonna have to let this dry to see. So what I do know, because I have attempted this before, is that even if water doesn't remove the makeup and cause it automatically to melt off, it does change the finish. If your face gets completely misted, this turns into a more luminous finish, which you'll be able to see on this side of my face compared to this side. Actually, on my hand, this stayed pretty matte. I think for the most part, that foundation actually did stay in place and my hand was really, really wet. I think the left side where I sprayed water looks a little bit more luminous and like the makeup broke down a tiny bit compared to this side, which could very well be because I mixed this foundation with a contour stick. But I still feel like I have makeup on and it just kind of made the texture look a little bit more luminous to me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup really, really quickly and then I'm gonna recap my thoughts on this product for you. So I'm back, I have my makeup done, and I'm just gonna recap my thoughts on this product. I know I didn't test the 24-hour claim. There are lots of videos on YouTube that I think you could check out that probably do test the 24-hour claim. I just know from experience, this does have a long wear time, and it really depends on how your skin is prepped and your skin type. I have pretty normal to dry skin, so this is gonna last longer on me than somebody who has really, really oily skin. Also, the products that you have underneath this makeup are going to impact how long it wears. I have worn this product all day long on occasion and it definitely stays in place. It has the same powdery finish for me and lasts longer than a super hydrating luminous foundation or complexion product would. So that's all I'll say about that. But as far as the transfer resistance and waterproof claims go, I think that they held up pretty well. In my experience, again, makeup of any variety is not going to withstand being rubbed against like a white t-shirt. Any makeup, if you rub it across your face, chances are it's going to transfer unless it is an alcohol activated makeup that's often used to like cover tattoos for film and stuff. But those also look really gross in person and they don't look like skin texture. They're not pretty and you're not going to be putting that on your face. But this does hold up if I just press a paper towel to my skin. And I think a paper towel is just as absorbent as a cotton t-shirt. So that is good. And after spraying my hand and face with water, it's still there. You can even see on my hand where the skin that has no foundation is compared to the foundation swatch because the color is slightly different. And this still held up and it looks pretty matte. I think my face looks a little bit more luminous or maybe it just feels more luminous, but I do think that those two claims hold up. And as far as the finish goes, coming from somebody who notoriously does not like lots of powder or does not like matte finishes in her complexion product, I actually really, really like the way that this looks. It doesn't look cakey to me. It's not overly accentuating any texture on my skin. And as I said earlier, if I have dry surface texture, I have to get rid of that. So I have to exfoliate with something and hydrate the skin with moisturizer before applying this. Otherwise it will accentuate it. But when my skin is having a good day and there's not much of surface dryness and it's hydrated, I really like the way that this looks and I'm surprised at how hydrating it feels. For a matte foundation, my skin feels really, really comfortable wearing this. Like I like the way that my skin feels having this on and I don't like the feeling of makeup. I really, really don't. So I was pleasantly surprised. I honestly didn't think I would end up keeping this. I bought it from Ulta, didn't think I was going to end up keeping it, but I'm definitely going to keep it for one because I've kept it for over 2 months and I really like it. And I didn't mention earlier, but the shade that I bought is 5 Fair Neutral. I'm near an Ulta, so I was able to just go there, swatch some colors, and pick the one that I wanted that matched me 2 months ago. Okay, so who do I think this product would be good for? I think this product would be good for anyone who has normal to slightly dry skin that doesn't have a lot of surface texture, all the way to oily skin types. The only people that I think that really wouldn't like this are people who are looking for really full coverage because this is a medium buildable coverage. You can't get it up to being fully opaque, and those who have a lot of dry surface texture. Not going to be able to use this. It will accentuate the dryness. It'll make you look older in an unflattering way. I'm all for celebrating getting older here and hope to age very gracefully and naturally, but I really dislike face makeup accentuating texture and aging people. And this has even happened to me because I used to model and I remember being like 20 years old. I would show up to a job and I would look like a 20-year-old. The makeup artist would get done with me and I would look like I was 35. And I've even had a photographer comment, she looked younger when she arrived. Makeup has the ability to age you if it's a specific texture, if it's really heavy-handed, and oftentimes I find that really, really matte, full coverage makeup just automatically, at least when you're in person, maybe not on camera, how things translate on camera is completely different than how they translate in person. Heavy matte makeup in person oftentimes will age you, and that's even exacerbated if you have lots of fine lines or you have lots of dry surface texture. So those are some things to keep in mind. I really like the bottle. I really like compact, lightweight packaging, and I really like the patent pending precision dropper that doesn't make a mess when you're dispersing the product. And again, if you need to darken up a complexion product that's too light, one way that you can do that is you can take a liquid or a cream bronzer or contour product. Just has to be the right type of tone. If it's a contour product that's kind of ashy, maybe I wouldn't do this, but if it has that kind of warmth to it, then you can warm up your foundation or darken your foundation or tinted moisturizer that's too light by just mixing and finding the right ratio to get the color that you need. So that's it. I'm pretty happy with this product. I think it lives up well to most of the claims and is really, really comfortable to wear for somebody, especially who doesn't like matte products. So I'm impressed by that. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on this foundation. If you have any questions or thoughts, if you have this foundation and you have any feedback, feel free to put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.